Hello, football fans, and yes, I say that even though I'm wearing a Colorado Avalanche T-shirt. That season is coming. But yeah, so week two was pretty eventful. It started with Amazon Prime's first game of the season. I did enjoy Amazon watching Amazon Prime games last year because it's different. Live NFL games on a streaming site. That's pretty new, and we've got what I think it's 12 years. I think we've got 11 more seasons of this, including this year. But anyway, the first Amazon Prime game was the Eagles and Vikings, and that started off as a bit of a laugher until Vikings tried to make it close, but they still came up short. That Vikings team, I swear, I don't know, they really messed up, and there's still dudes with Vikings fans saying we're gonna win the division. No, you're not. You guys got rid of everybody good. It's just Cousins and Justin Jefferson, and now the Vikings seem to not want to pay their only good receiver. I don't get it. I mean, as a Packers fan, I'm laughing my ass off, but as a football fan, I'm going, what the hell are these idiots doing? Speaking of Packers, so we came up just a tad short against the Falcons. It was a 1 point loss, but then Jordan Love did have the chance to lead a game-winning drive, and that didn't go well. But I will say this: I am very proud that young man is our starting quarterback. He is passing every test out there. Every test out there. He's got 6 touchdown passes. He hasn't thrown a pick so far. He's tied for the league in touchdown passes. He's leading the league in passer rating. No, he doesn't have the yard. He doesn't have a lot of yards, but he's kicking ass. He's kicking ass right now. He really is. So, so yeah, he's really showing out. And mind you, we entered that game in Atlanta without Aaron Jones and without Christian Watson. Yet we still made it hard for Atlanta. So that alone tells me we're gonna have a pretty damn good season. Uh, and it was speak and we're still in first place because nobody in our division won. Yeah, the Vikings lost Thursday. The Packers lost in Atlanta. The Lions lost in overtime. The Bears, well, you get it. Oh boy, and yeah, Justin Fields is out there. Justin Fields is out there throwing people under the bus. Well, the coach is the reason why I've been. No, it's not the coaching. It's not the coaching, Justin. I mean, yeah, people said Matt Nagy was a problem. He kind of was, but they somehow made the playoffs with him somehow, and then and then the Bears used that to keep him, and that's when they had the really shitty season, and so they fired him as they should. Yet they've somehow become worse. It's not the coaching, Justin. It's you. You're part of the problem. Bears fans were pounding their chests. Bears fans were pounding their chests, pretty much saying that Justin Fields is the second coming of Jim McMahon. Are you kidding? But yeah. So the Ravens pulled out a key division win over the Bengals. The Bengals are 0-2. And both losses in the division. This is not good. And even worse, Joe Burrow may not play this upcoming week. Ooh, the Bengals are in trouble. And the Chiefs barely survived the Jaguars. Now remember, these aren't the same Jaguars. The Jaguars have some oomph this time after last year. But the Chiefs barely survived them. 17-9. They had one pass receiving touchdown. It came from Travis Kelsey. Yes, he came. Yes, he was back. But the Bills showed their dominance over the Raiders, and this was also a week of comebacks. The Giants were down 21 and beat the Cardinals. My goodness, but my goodness, I think this was the first time they came back from such a deficit since 1949, and that was also against the Cardinals. Mm. Of course, the main story in week two is the Jets. Because remember, we all saw last week, Aaron Rodgers was set to took the field, and Jets fans were like, "Oh yeah," they were amped up. And then 4 plays, he's injured, he's out for the game. Now the Jets end up winning the game in overtime over the Bills, but the news broke about sometime after the game. Torn Achilles, Rodgers is done for the year. That's no good. No bueno. No bueno. So they had to go to their plan B, or should I say plan Z, Zach Wilson. Yeah, that didn't go so well for the Jets on Sunday. One touchdown, not a lot of yards, and 3 picks. Of course, this is Dallas's defense, and they've been a machine so far in this young season. But when Shannon Sharp saves with me, he said Zach Wilson couldn't play dead in a horror movie. That's just cold, but it's the truth. Zach Wilson is not good. I mean, we're not. I mean, you shouldn't expect him to be Aaron Rodgers, but the kid isn't good now. And there's doom and gloom in the Jets fan base. I find that a little bit ironic because they actually had a pretty decent year last year. They almost made it. They were pretty close. They were knocking the door, and when they got Aaron Rodgers, they saw a lot of us Jets fans and fans of other teams saw like big things for him, and it just crumbled like that. It's awful. I said this week of comebacks. The Washington Commanders put off a comeback. They put off a big double-digit comeback, though. It helped that. Now they gave up that Hail Mary touchdown, but it helped that the referee couldn't see shit in that 2-point conversion. It was pass interference. It was blatant. Yet no flags were thrown. But even so, Washington is 2-0. Washington's 2-0 in the post Dan Snyder era. Now that's big. This is the first time the Commanders started 2-0 since 2011, but ironically, that year saw them finish 5-11 and just fizzle out. But yeah, they're 2-0, and oh boy, we could see big things from Washington. Who knows? Dolphins. Tua continues ownership of the Patriots in Sunday Night Football, and we got the Monday Night Twofer. I love this. Monday Night Football has evolved so much. Because I think, how'd that go? Because when ESPN took it in 06, they started having the doubleheader in week 1. But when the season got when an extra week was added to the season, there was no need for the doubleheader. They still had 17 Monday games. But then I think it was last year, they started to have 2 Monday games in week 2, and they're doing it again this week, and it's going to happen again next week. There's going to be more Monday games. But yeah, the Saints face the Panthers in NFC South battle, but the main game I want to talk about was the Steelers. Here's the thing. I started the Steelers defense on fantasy because I knew the Steelers defense would just completely shit on the Browns, and they did. 2 touchdowns, a bunch of takeaways, and of course, the second of those 2 touchdowns was scored by T.J. Watt, who earned his money, and that touchdown was the game winner. So the Steelers beat the Browns. It was mostly the defense because that offense is still kind of, but it's a win. They're 1-1. So is Cleveland, and that means Baltimore's all going in first place in that division. So yeah. So after 2 weeks, we got 9 2-0 teams. We got 9 2-0 teams, but only 2 are in the AFC, and it's none of the usual suspects. It's Miami and Baltimore that are 2-0. The AFC is wide open, folks. It is wide the fuck open, and I'm here for it. I am so happy the AFC is good again, because I used to make fun of the AFC when Brady was killing it, was literally murdering it, but I am so happy the AFC is good again because when I was a kid, the AFC was good. Both conferences were good. The AFC was good back then. It's just that they couldn't win the Super Bowl during my childhood. But the AFC is good again. Now the NFC has gone down, but even so, it makes the conference interesting. It makes things wide open because the lack of depth in the National Football Conference means pretty much any ham and egger can sneak in and make names of themselves. It's just wonderful. So anyway, that's my recap of Week 2. Here's what we look forward to in Week 3. Week 3 kicks off tomorrow in the Bay Area with the Niners hosting the Giants. And the Giants are now, it was originally reported that Saquon Barkley will be out for this game and 2 others. Now they're trying to say he might play. I don't know why. The Giants are not going to beat the Niners. All Saquon's appearance will guarantee is the Giants will lose by 2 touchdowns. Niners are going to beat New York. They are. I don't know what the hell the Giants tried to pull by even considering playing Saquon. Just sit him. And plus, just sit him. Just sit him. And if he does play, it can make things worse. Sit him. It's only 3 weeks. So in 3 weeks, he'll be back in around mid-October. You can kick ass then. So yeah, that's the Thursday game. This week, the Packers finally play our home opener against the 2-0 Saints. Sunday Night Football is Steelers and Raiders in Vegas. And like I said, we're getting 2 Monday games again. And it's Eagles and Bucks. And I love that the Eagles play Monday because I have Jalen Hurts on fantasy and he can save my ass in a few matchups. And the other Monday game is Rams-Bengals. This will be their first meeting since Super Bowl 56, which the Rams won. That was a very thrilling game. So that's my recap of Week 2. If you like this video, quick like. For those on YouTube, could subscribe if you want more. For those on TikTok, feel free to hit that follow button. My story recap of Week 2 will be featured, so check it out. And I'll be back Sunday to recap baseball again, and I'll be back this time next week. I'll try to do it Tuesday. I'll try to do like Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday night to recap Week 3. Hopefully that comes with a Packers home victory. But I will recap Week 3 sometime around this time next week. So stay tuned.